Hello, loves. Welcome back to WitchyMarlaina's Ghost Adventures. I am your host, WitchyMarlaina, and today, back into 50 states and 500 scariest places to visit. And we're going to my home state. Hello, Tennessee. You have a lot of freaky places, not gonna lie. You have Shiloh, you have the Hermitage, you have the Bell Witch Cave, you have the Orpheum Theater in Memphis. But today, we're gonna go into the heart of things. We are going here. This is the Tennessee State Capitol, and there's a lot of paranormal activity in this building. And it even starts with before it was even completed. So I'm going to give you some background on the State Capitol. The Capitol started construction in 1845, and the main architect, the notable architect, was William Strickland. Now, William Strickland, unfortunately, didn't see the project through, being it took 14 years to build. It's insane. And during the building process, slaves and prisoners pretty much built this building. The slaves were stonemasons, while prisoners fortified this building with wrought iron beams, which was, again, another unheard of thing for buildings of the time. Now, William Strickland passed away and was buried in the building. Now, this is also kind of weird too, because normally state capitals are not mausoleums, but in Tennessee it is. There's a few people that are buried in the state capitol, and William Strickland is one of them. And he is buried in the northeast corner of the building. Now, his predecessor was Samuel Morgan, and Samuel Morgan was more like the commissioner of the Capitol, so he managed the money. And William Strickland and Samuel Morgan always butted heads regarding costs, building materials. They were constantly fighting. And when Mr. Morgan passed away in 1880, he was also buried in the state capitol, but in the southeast side of the building. So both of them are buried on the east side of the building, but one is in the north and one is in the south. This is pretty important. The reason I say that is this. There have been claims that around 9 p.m., their feud rivals back up again, and people have heard audible arguing that is loud between two people, probably Strickland and Morgan, back and forth. They're so loud to the point that people have heard them outside of the building. I understand. Strickland didn't see the project all the way through, so I brought you he's kind of pissed on how things went under Morgan's care, and he's still talking about it to this day. The next ghost story I'm going to talk about is there is a beautiful lady in antebellum garb that floats around the state capitol. Some believe that this lady is the 7th President of the United States, Andrew Jackson's wife, Rachel. Rachel, she lived at the Hermitage. She's buried at the Hermitage. So I'm pretty sure that she's the one that's floating around there. But who is this lady who likes to float around the state capitol? I can put my money that it's not Rachel, but she's gorgeous and she does make her presence known. The next ghost story I'm going to tell you has to do with someone else buried at the state capitol, and that is another president. People have seen, especially visitors, when they come to James K. Polk and his wife Sarah's grave, people have seen a thin man in a black suit, like a long black coat, kneeling in front of James K. Polk's gravesite. And when people get closer to him, he slowly dissipates and disappears. So the way his stature is and the way he looks, people are claiming that that is James K. Polk looking at his own grave. From what I'm told, James K. Polk's grave, and of course Sarah with him, have been moved around in the Capitol at least 3 times, and they're going to move him again for a 4th time. So I'm wondering if he's just unrested because of all of the shifting. Just making sure it's him, I guess. Then the last ghost I'm going to talk about, he's found in the cupola. And the cupola is the very tip top of the Capitol building where the United States flag now is flying. But the flag wasn't always United States. Back in the Civil War era, of course, Tennessee was on the Confederate side, and the Confederate flag flew at the cupola. But Union soldiers did take a stronghold in Nashville, Tennessee, and was going to put Old Glory up on the cupola, and met a Confederate soldier guarding the cupola, and they shot him, and he tumbled down the stairs and died. To this day, when they renovated the cupola, they heard a very angry and violent disembodied voice telling them to do not touch the furniture. Don't touch the furniture. That's kind of odd. So when they were kind of shifting everything around to do the renovations and the painting, the following morning, all of the furniture was back in its original spot. Don't piss off the Confederate soldier that's still guarding the cupola. That's all I gotta say. So there you have it. The Tennessee State Capitol in Nashville, Tennessee. Oh my gosh. And I know that there's probably more ghostly encounters in our nation or our state's capital, but these are pretty intense stories. And I'm glad I was able to share them with you today. Thank you so much for joining me on my ghost adventures. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later.